Login.
Ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Okay, so can we start?
Yes, madam.
I'll just keep my video off because the internet is very bad here. Okay, so students, our last class, as I was asking many people that what do you want to learn, give me, because there are so many things which we can do in the session, and if I can give you some kind of knowledge in that, then I will, prepare myself for that. So one suggestion which I got was basically on RPA, robotic process automation, and I have prepared this session. And when I was actually doing a research on this particular session to give you the best, and I found a lot of good thing which we can discuss for 2-3 days, and there can be some extremely exciting project which you people can do. You able to hear me, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will start with that, okay, because something what we are going to discuss today, and this is something which is really a new, or you can't say new, but this is something which is the future of work, and that's why I have given my slide name also as future of work. So let's go ahead and see this. Okay. So we are going to today talk about RPA, and I'm going to, by the end of the session, what I'm going to do is I will tell you about certain software which you can download. I could not download in my computer because I am using Mac, and the Windows operating system, the laptop which I have, this camera is not working. There I could download and use it. It's very simple. And the things which you can do with those kinds of software is something which is highly in demand. And entire organization, most of the organization means like 100% organization are using RPA nowadays. So Ashwin sir, thank you for suggesting a good topic. So let's go ahead and we'll see. When we are talking about the future of work, I named it as future of work because when I was doing a lot of research on this particular topic to find out that what should I conclude for you, what should I bring it for you, and how should I, present it to you? Because as a teacher, this is my habit that before taking any session, if there is a particular topic, I basically think that for a particular audience, now you people are the people who are tech savvy people, who are the people who are developers, coders. So for you, what is important and how it's going to benefit you in the future, and how you can apply that in your life, whether it is going to help you or not, that has to be very, very important. Because see, you're not in a college. When I go to a classroom in a college and teaching MBA students, that time I am covering one particular syllabus, and I don't bother whether this is going to be applied in whatever job that person is taking. But for you people, you are doing a professional course, so something which should have outcome, something which you can apply immediately. So most of my session, I try to do something where you can apply. Like for example, the last exercise most of you have done, though I was thinking that, and you people were so lovely that you all agreed to go ahead, though you have not taken the cloud computing course, but still you people have utilized that. So thinking that technology all are integrated, all technology connects to each other. We can't say that one technology is working in isolation. It's just like a human body. Just like how our human body, every organ function in collaboration or in integration with other organ. If the heart stop working, everything stop working. If stomach is not okay, your everything goes high haywire. So similarly, all kind of technology is essential, and that is the reason why in the today's organization, everybody want a person who's multi-skilled. They don't want a person with a single skill, because there may be many there who have single skill and they're expertised in that. So people want people, the organization want those kind of people who have multiple skills. So the future work, let's say if you rewind 100 years, the workplace was very, very different than what it is today. No computers, no fax machines, no internet, no software running in the organization. Then what happened after 100? You just fast forward 100 year ago to 20 years ago, then you will find that computers came with that bulky machine, and which was running on DOS. Then you had fax machine, which was very, very innovative thing. People used to think, oh, we can, just send some messages on somebody else fax machine in some different location. That was very, very fascinating at that time. But only when the thing internet started, when people started knowing about email, Ethernet connecting everything everywhere, that became the today's generation. So if you fast forward it to today's generation, you find that enterprises are basically scrambling to adopt to all new advancement in technology. Technology is very, very fast moving. Initially, technology was moving at a speed of 20 years, 10 years, then the new technology used to come. But today, if you see that every time you hear, there is a new word every year which is coming up and popping up. So enterprises are basically trying to adopt these kinds of technology, and they want to be staying ahead so that they don't lose their business. So adopting technology is no choice, it is a necessity, right? And that's where, when you say that from 2000, in fact, if you see, 50% of the traditional companies of Fortune 500 have disappeared. Take Blockbuster, then Polar. Then you had so many companies who were existing and who were doing really good. They were king. But what happened to them? They didn't stay relevant and competitive in the digital economy, and they phased out. So, in order to remain successful, every company is trying to use technology, the new technology, adapt to the new technologies. So more when more companies are, trying to cease to exist because of the increased competition if they don't move into the era of digital disruption. So it is not that what I am saying. It is the World Economic Forum which said that we have already entered into the industrial revolution. So students, I'm not going to elaborate more on fourth industrial revolution because in one of the session I talked about first Indian industrial revolution. So in a short, if you say that today we are entering into the fourth industrial revolution where everything is connected, where everything can communicate or send data to other, and everything has become smart. So connected world, that's the fourth revolution. The world of robotic, the world of RPAs, the robotic process automations. These are the technologies which are making us move into the era of fourth revolution, industrial revolution. So the companies who say that, no, it is okay with us, we will still follow the old technology, we can't throw it, and we will not invest in new technology, will cease to exist. So this is a necessity now. And even when you read newspaper, a magazine, or any book, anything, it's very hard that you most often when you go on the internet or even you see movies also, right? You will see whenever I talk about robots and my student will say, ma'am, chitti. Sorry, I think I logged out. Okay, so I was talking to you that robots have become so fascinating for us, and it is everywhere we are seeing that robots are being. And as initially we used to see robot in the movies, and we used to get excited, and we used to say that will that robot, and still the robot is a very unusual and so uncommon kind of phenomena for us, but still it is popping up everywhere. You see robot playing in our personal life in the form of your virtual assistant. So Alexa is nothing but a robot, right? A virtual assistant is a robot. You are nowadays you see vacuum cleaner. Today my one of my student came to meet me, and he has a business of that, and it's called robot only. And I said what it is. He was showing me the videos, and he said, ma'am, now you don't require a maid. A robot maid is there. It will go clean your house. You just have to set up the time. So I was seeing that, okay, fine, how does it clean the corners, if the stairs are there, if the below the what you call table and all. So he was showing me all everything, and he said, so, ma'am, it is an intelligent maid. It basically just like a maid, it understand that which corner needs more scrubbing, which corners need less scrubbing, how much water should be put, if it is a wood floor, how much water it should be put. So that kind of intelligence is built nowadays in all kinds of electronic items. So when we are talking about a world which is exploding with robots, so in our professional life you should understand that you are the people who are going to build this robot technology. So this course is actually the session which I'm taking to you is going to particularly focus on a type of a robot which is used in our day-to-day life. Unknowingly, we use it, but we don't know it. That this is a kind of a what procedure or what things we are using. It's basically a robot because it doesn't look like a robot. Because whenever we talk about a robot, we think about one imagination in our mind, a shiny metal body, doing robotic dance like that. All those kinds of images which movies have given us come to our mind, but the robots not necessarily have a physical appearance. It can be in the form of software. All of you know this. So I'm referring here in this particular session on something called RPA, robotic process automation. So RPA, this entire RPA is basically what? It is a software based robotic that emulate work what people do. That means what? It tried to copy the work which is done by people. Now, what kind of work can RPA do or robots do? This robotic software can do. They can do those kinds of jobs which are routine and mundane in nature, right? Where you don't require any kind of a thinking or any kind of a thing. It's a routine job. So, as I said this, the concept of RPA and the underlying technologies are not very new. The application of these RPA is very, very much visible today in the business environment. It is every enterprising today in the world are actually using RPA in any way, in any of their business processes. Okay. So here I'm going to talk about some of the important thing which company can do with the RPA, but we have to understand exactly that how RPA work. Okay. So we'll look into the definition of RPA first. So the definition says RPA is a configurable software tools. Few things I put in the bold to make you understand that this is actually what RPA is. So the one very important word is configurable software tool that uses business rules and sequences of actions to automatically complete process in any number of different applications, the same way a human would do with the help of people in exception management. Now, let's look into all these bold words which I kept and understand that what it is. So the first one is called configurable software. What is configurable software? Configurable software is out of the box software that comes with built-in functionality. Those are customized software. It does not involve writing lines of raw code. Whenever we think of Microsoft Excel or we write a spreadsheet application program, whatever is made, in a spreadsheet program also we build macros and models. Those who know spreadsheet or Excel, they will know about it. So what this macro and model do, they use existing feature and they use certain things which are not inbuilt, the features which are not inbuilt. So this is called the configurable software, where you can build certain features which are commonly not available. The next word which we have put in this is called business rules. Business rules are what? Business rules are the decision criteria, or it's a restriction or a constraint that determine how a process is executed. Every business rule is based on every organization. For example, let's say Kionix is an organization and you people are doing a training under a parent organization Kionix and under their centers. So the Kionix will create a business rule for the center, for admission process and for everything, which can be different from the other centers, like the private centers like Aptech and all. So that is called the business rules. So business rules are something. One more example I'll give you. For example, let's say account payable. If a product you receive your order, for example, you send an order to your client and the order is received, then the client has to pay you. So the rule is very simple, that as soon as the client receive the product, he need to immediately process the payment. So that rule is very, very simple. There is nothing Greek in that. So third one in the definition is called sequence of action. That means it consists of series of steps which basically complete the action in the multiple systems. So RPA can handle a sequence of action ranging from simple tasks to complex tasks, such as like creating, updating reports, managing work absence, balancing taxes, making invoices, automating invoices. For example, like an e-commerce company, whenever a customer buy a product and does a payment, as soon as he come out of the checkout process and does a payment, immediately you get a invoice which get triggered. So nobody is manually making. Whereas when you go to an offline store and you buy something, they will take out a bill book, they will write your name, they will write some traditional one I'm talking about. They will write your phone number, fill all the detail and manually do this. Every time, every customer come and buy, they do the same process. Now, let's say they automate this process. So one level of automation is they buy a computer, they put a software there, let's say Tally. The Tally create an invoice format. They enter through the keyboard now all the detail of the customers. And then they print it and give it. That is also a manual process which takes time. The customer is waiting for you. But what RPA does, it is basically used in the e-commerce site where nobody is manually entering. As soon as the customer pay and his payment is processed, immediately within 1 minute or within few seconds in the email come. Like for example, you're booking airline tickets. So immediately as you book, you get a message, you get a WhatsApp message, you get your ticket, you get a mail, you get all kind of confirmation. This is called RPA. So the RPA can do that. So it can do all kinds of this stuffs like this. Then the last word which we used in this was automatic. Just now I told you that RPA operate everything. It automates things. So automatic means completion of the task done immediately, independently. So it can be, there are certain tasks which can be programmed. The tasks which cannot be programmed, which is not routine in nature, cannot, where there we cannot use RPA. So the key is that RPA can operate on the front end application, the way that people use them. So what I want to tell you is that, for example, if you basically think about a mainframe, terminal, or SAP, Oracle, Blackline, Internet Explorer, Windows, many programs, you also have one more feature which I have not put in the slide. Is called exception managers. Now what happens? You have routine job. You're every day handling customers, you're making invoice, you're giving customers same thing every day repeatedly. You do. You know how to do it. But there can be a situation when one exceptional customer comes and he has some exceptional issue which you have never handled, and you don't know what to do. So what do? You call your manager and say that, sir, this is a happen and I don't know how to solve this. So those are exceptional cases. And in management term, we called it as management by exception, MBE, management by exception, where in the routine process also you have some exceptional cases where a management need to interfere. Otherwise, they don't interfere in day-to-day operative work, operational issues, the micro issues which we say. So RPA take care of that exception management also. Okay. So now we are going to talk about something which is called, there are few things. One is robotic, automation, process automation. There is one thing which we use online, is called robotic desktop automation, RDA. So the type of automation till now I was discussing was about specific task, about a process in the business, which was called RPA. But when the software react, on your computer, suppose on the desktop you have an app and it basically react to certain action which you do. So those are certain things which are on the desktop and respond on the desktop with a kind of a trigger which happens. So in short, I'll say this is a form of automation which is a configured software which work in the real time with the human operator intervention. That means somebody has to activate that. Like I told you, example of airline ticket you book, immediately you get message, immediately, nobody is manually doing that. But in RDA, if somebody goes, a human operator goes and use a particular app, and with a predefined set of information, whatever he gets, like a call center, for example. So what happens? It will immediately respond in that particular way. Like, for example, in a way you can say something similar to Excel. You pull data into Excel and you can do data analytics using certain tools over there. Like, for example, pivot chart, pivot data, all those kinds, you can do that. So you just have to, it will pull the data, it will automatically do everything for you. But only when you connect that, you tell the software that this is a data which has to be used, it will not do on its own. It will now pull out the data thinking that, okay, this is a data which we have to require to analyze. This is the information which the customer wants, or the operator wants. The operator has to put certain set of instruction and the workflow or the task automatically happen. So it is called operator generated workflow or task. Okay. So RDA is little similar to RPA, but RPA, there is a few differences which we have. RDA work with human operator. So it is basically a tool where a person act and give some instruction, then only it works. That's called RDA. Okay. The operator generated workflow, which is also an automated process. So a person is an activated participant in that. Okay. And so a person has to trigger something, he has to take an action. So when we say about this, RDA is not autonomous. You require a human being to give some instruction to, trigger that automation, then only it happens. And this RDA we use for exception managers. Okay. And RDA is basically used in the customer service in the call center. Okay? In the call center, imagine you calling a bank call center. You have some issue, let's say you want to change address or you want some information. So you call a call center and the call center person says, okay, fine. They are, they tell you, okay, fine, what is the, query? And you will, suppose you are calling for a credit card, okay? Or whatever it is, you are calling for a credit, or you want to book a flight with an airline. So what happens, the call center agent will take all your information, the name and all, and he will feeds into it and requirement, and then automatically he gets what you want and tell you that information. So that's called RDA. Now, because here the operator is required to put a request because it doesn't know that what is an inquiry. Whereas in the RPA, the data which has to be used is all automated. Just like I said that when you go online and you book, you also put the data that you want to fly from this city to this city, and then you put your data and automatically your, when you do the payment, automatically your invoice is generated, which doesn't require a human intervention to put the date and the name on the invoice. Whereas in the RDA, is basically in the call center, the RDA is used. So this is called the RDA and RPA. So this is where we are going to do. I'm going to stop here and ask if anybody has any questions. Any question you can put in the chat box. I'm just drinking water. Meanwhile, somebody can ask. Okay. No? No question? Okay. Okay. So, how do we do RPA? What are the various kinds of software which is available for us? Who are the vendors of RPA? Who can give you a tool or a platform to develop RPA? In a way, if I want to tell you, RPA is one example is bots, the chat bots and all these, which we will be doing an exercise in the next session. Next session, I will take you to a particular tool of RPA, and you all will be making a bot and presenting it to me. Okay. So immediately, if there is an application, there is an interest also, and there is some kind of a benefit also to the students. So when we are talking about RPA vendor over the time has expanded and evolved. There are a lot of tools available nowadays. Some tools are very specific. Some tools have certain feature better than the other tools. So RPA software industry has grown considerably in the last few years. So but now if we talk about the top 20 tools which I took for this particular session, and I've also made a file about all these things, little bit tutorial and some exercise I have made, which I will send it to Harinakshi ma'am. and she will send it to you. And the next session, you have to do those exercises. Very simple for you all. Okay. So you can do those exercises in that software, download the software and do it and present it to me in the next session. So I have provided also in one more file I'm going to send, in which all kinds of top 20 tools are there for, as an RPA. So some kind of a list which I can tell you here is which was actually given by in 2018 by Everest Group, Peak Matrix Leader. They said that these are the top RPA rule, like this one, Automation Anywhere. It's called AAC, that is Automation Anywhere Client. You can download this free of cost. These are all open source. Blue Prism, nice, Autonomy, and I like this the most, which I will ask you to use, UiPath. Okay, so these are the one which are the leaders in this field. And then we have some more, one which are there, like Kofax, Crayon System, Pega System, Soft Motive. So which software is right for you and your organization? You can pick any one. Each software has different strength. And like, for example, the NICE, right? The NICE software, for the instance, specialize in assisted automation. Their software is built for simultaneous process. For example, like our, passenger car making company have simultaneously process various process going on, because it's an assembly industry. Even the computer is an assembly industry. So you have different parts manufactured and then assembled, and the final product comes. So these are a simultaneous process. So those can be done. So it can be idle for automatic routine tasks like call center employees, all those kinds of things. Then you have the Prism, which is also an autonomy software, which can handle also assisted and unassisted solutions. Then you have UiPath, which is, I like it most because UiPath uses .NET framework, and which makes the configuration easier for more experienced developer. So as for you people, I will suggest UiPath. Okay, so you can go to UiPath, you can download it free of cost. On Mac, I can't download it. So you can download the UI designer today after this session. And before the next session, I will be sending some exercise. Go ahead and do those exercise. In the next session, we will be talking about how to develop bot in UiPath. I want you people to tell me in the next session how you can develop, because you all are doing AI, Python, and all these kinds of technology. Okay. Difference between RPA and the other tools is RPA, sometime when we say, is it similar? It looks like, automation of tasks. What is new in this? Is there an AI built in this? Or what is a specific feature? Sometimes people may ask a question that, sometimes they say that RPA is RPA same as screen scrubbing or macros? Sometimes people say that how IPA is different than business process ERP tools. There also you do automation. Is it different from artificial intelligence? Okay. So when we present this, these are the questions which come. Sometimes people say that, why do we need RPA tools when we have Microsoft, where we can bring macros and we can emulate and automate certain actions using the mouse and keyboard? So why do have a RPA like of things? IPA, isn't the RPA resemble the macros, which can do a lot of things? So I personally feel that, and when I learned, I also felt the same thing. But then when I went depth into that, and I found that RPA is a thing which can control a massive catalog of application, which a single application like Excel or maybe any other application can't do. And it can integrate many applications also. So RPA has many integrated out of the box capability to handle simple to complex calculation, logic, workflow. To some degree, RPA can be like macros, where you can create a macros like how you create in Excel, and you can develop a new feature. That configurable software, I told you it's a configurable software. So you can go ahead and create one kind of a macro just like in Excel and create one feature for that. So in screen scrapping, what happens is you can do screen scrapping also. It is very simple. So what you can do is I'll give you the screen scrapping, work only to do. So what happens is that it is little more than scrapping the data from the screen. Screen trapping software does what? It will take the data from PDF and upload that data into some other application programs that even Excel also can do. Is it only that? No, it is more than that. So what about business process management tools? The business process management tools like SAP and all can operate and can create certain solution for certain functions, and those functions can be operated. For example, in the academic purpose, you can have a ERP or a business process management which can take care of fees management, or in the organization it can take care of payroll, employee salary management, new employee onboarding management. All these can be done with the help of RPA. You don't have to repeat the process which are routine in nature. Okay. So you have better capability, better control, better security. It's not a specific software tool which can do only. So for example, if you have a HR payroll software installed in your server, it will do only on one specific task. If it is meant to calculate the salary of the employee on the basis of certain data, it will pull the data, calculate the employee and send. But if it is meant, RPA is not like that. RPA, and it will do only those tasks. RPA will do the task of payment, also understanding, using analytics to understand whether the payment is processed properly or not. What is a report of that, whether the payment, how much payment has gone, all those kinds can be inbuilt into it. So the way you want, you can configure the software. And finally, we talk about artificial intelligence. And we say that, is the artificial intelligence is same as RPA, or is the RPA a one of the subset of AI? So you can say yes. AI is an umbrella term which includes lot of capability, like for example, the machine learning, natural language processing, pattern recognition, hypothesis generations. You can do iteration of the algorithm, which can be learned from the data, because AI work on the set of data. Think of the Netflix. The Netflix, when they give you a recommendation, they use a recommendation algorithm which can learn from your browsing habit over the time. Like you can have 3 accounts in the Netflix when you're watching, one account for your father, one account for you, one account for your sister or brother. And when every account will give you a different recommendation based on what you watch. What are you browsing? How often do you watch, or what kind of a genre of content you watch? So Netflix recommendation algorithm is using RPA. They're using obviously AI also in that. So what they do is they think like human being and feel that just like your parents. Your parent doesn't need any software. God has given them inbuilt software. So your parents, when a baby is born, and when the baby cry or smile or do any action, the mother immediately understand the baby need food, the baby is hungry, the baby is having a pain. Because baby is not telling that, baby is just crying, or baby is giving some action, or maybe the sleeping pattern, and our parents can tell that. They don't require any software to do that. Those are called cognitive skills in a human being. Same kind of cognitive skill is trying to be built into AI. So if you have a sleep watch monitor, baby, monitor, baby watch monitor, in US, basically, when they keep the baby in the separate room, they have this. So what AI does, even if the child is not crying, let's say the child is trying to climb, and it is a possibility that then the child is going to fall. So they have sensors, they have AI, the sensor collects the data and sense that the child is awake, but the child is not crying, and the child is about to fall from the bed. The sensor immediately before that set an alarm and send that, okay, fine, just like parents, and tell the parents in the other room that the child is about to fall. So these are some cognitive skills of, or the subset of AI, which is applied in the your system of RPA also in certain extent. Okay, like some example, IVR machines. We are getting very irritated when we say press 1 to do this, press 2 to do this. That's the reason we normally wait and we press 9, because we will be talking to some human being. And you say that, okay, fine, at least machine can't respond to me, but human being will respond to your emotions. So similarly, what they do is in the call centers, they use RPA, they use AI bots, which respond in the same way, and the customer doesn't know whether he's talking to a machine or to a person. Voice recognition system, OCR, character recognition system, which is used in the competitive exams. So these are certain things which are very routine nature. So RPI is not AI exactly. RPI itself is not intelligent, but certain subsets of the developer, when they create RPA, they create a rule-based process where they know that after this is a step which has to be done. After this has to be done. So they don't need a machine learning to learn and then follow the, do it on your own. So that's how the rule-based program, when you develop, which automates certain process, but a little bit of intelligence is also required in this, then in that case, the AI is used. So RPA is just a beginning. You can say in a way, always I tell that RPA is like an intelligent digital labor for you, right? They are the people, they can replace the human labor and do all the thing, but with intelligence. They are not like machine doing anything without thinking. So sometimes you require to see RP again work on transactional data. At the same time, they also require certain algorithm based on machine learning. So it's a RPA cannot be macros like a machine. So it may not be exactly same as AI, but it has certain features of AI built into it. Okay. So I'm going to now give a pause, and I want to pose certain questions till now, whatever I have done, and you people can give me the answer for this. So I'll read the question. Robotic desktop automation can be started up in different scenario. When does RDA start up? From a scheduled job, RDA is the robotic desktop application. Tell me what's the feature. 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbering is wrong. Write in chat box. Okay, till now I've got 2 answers, which is written through a manual interaction by user. That's the correct answer. Yeah. So RDA require a manual interaction by user. You people are intelligent. How does robotic desktop application differ from robotic process automation? Is it robotic desktop automation is more advanced? Desktop automation assists the process instead by completely doing it on its own, like autonomous. Robotic process automation can streamline the information. Robotic process automation is more advanced. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. Same set of people are answering. 1 is not the correct answer, but 2 is a correct answer. Okay. So 2, it says that robotic desktop assists in the process. It is just an assistant to you. Whereas RPA will completely do the process and automate the process. You don't want any human intervention. So you have decided to use RPA to automate some semi-structured process, not fully structured, but semi-structured, which feature of AAI, which is, automation anywhere allow. That's a RPA tool only to automate such process. Operational intelligence or self-learning bots. Yes, 1 is correct. Because self-learning bot will mostly use, your machine learning and AI and the other related tools. So operational intelligence, which may use some of the AI algorithm, but not as fully. Now let's understand what can we automate. Can we automate everything with the RPA? So when we talk about robotic process automation, it can automate only rule-based tasks. The task involving higher volume of execution and repeatable tasks. So let's begin. If you examine, there must be many tasks you do over and over again, okay? Such as posting on social media, email marketing, client follow-up, booking client appointment. These are repetitive tasks or not? So this repetitive task can be automated and it can save time. Why a human being is wasted on certain tasks which can be automated? You can save time, you can save energy, you can save money. So what you do is you use a software robots, okay? And this software robot or bot can automate any process from end to end, changing the way you operate. So with the help of RPA, you can automate any rule-based process. That doesn't depend on human judgment. You don't require any human intervention in that. For instance, you can automate data retrieval process. Okay. So data retrieval process you can automate, which can involve extracting data from PDF, scan document, and other. For example, many people have applied for a job in the organization, and a company has given a format, a kind of a application, and given them and told them in the online form application, see, you have to fulfill this information. And in that particular format, everybody has filled the information and applied. Now, gone are those days when the human being will sit and one by one see all the application and try to judge. All these, what will happen is the data will be retrieved automatically through an RPA process into a software and put into the software, and which will help the HR department basically to shortlist the people who meet the conditions, who meet the job profile, right? And those people are being called. So nobody is sitting and one by one, 1,000 application comes and they're watching. So the work which used to take few days are happening within few minutes. So you can automate all the kind of process, from payment process, from CRM, which is the customer, relationship management. The bank use RPA for the routine process. Then you use various other companies who are using the payment data for multiple systems. Enterprises resource planning is also using RPA. So when you're talking about customer relation management or CRM and all, they basically, like, for example, automatic the process like sending greetings to customers on their birthdays. So there's a database where our customers' details are kept, the customer anniversaries, date, and you have to send a discount to customers on every birthday, 15% discount coupon, so that you encourage them to buy something. So what happens automatically, the RPA pull up those data whose birthday is done today, make a coupon code and send. Nobody is required. Nobody even knows that who are the people who have got the greeting from the company. This is how the bank send you greeting on your birthdays and all. So I'm just giving a very simple example over here. So RPA can be used to generate basically in the mass email process, where you are sending multiple mails to multiple people, but at the same time, you don't want to apply a thumb rule which says that one size fit for all. That even if a person doesn't want certain things, still you're sending. So what this email campaign does, from the entire database, let's say 1 lakh database of the customer a company has created, out of that, they segregate those customers who want those products, who has that need, and personalize those email with the personal greeting and send. That's called RPA. Okay. So this is how it is done. Next very important example can be the payroll management. When the payroll management involve a repetitive process of calculating the salary and also considering numerous regulation, for example, tax. A particular employee is drawing a very huge salary, and the tax, he has given the investment, all those form 15A or whatever it is, and after that the company calculate, the software calculate the tax, But if they cut all entire tax in one go, in the form 16, like tax deducted from source, the employee will not be happy, because maybe the employee might have taken a lot of loans and he require a certain amount of money to run his house. Same thing happens in bank also. When the bank sanction your loan, you give all the detail of your income, and they also ask you for bank statement, which they analyze. All these data is analyzed by the software, the loan processing software, which analyze and decide whether you can pay the EMI on time or not. Let's say you earn 1 lakh rupees and you have applied for 12 lakh loan, and for 5 years the bank calculate how much, what is the interest rate and what will be the EMI. And bank feels that after looking at your expenditure, they find that you hardly save anything. 1 lakh you earn, and at the end of the month you don't even save 5,000 rupees. So how are you going to pay the EMI, which can be more than 10,000? So they reject. You say, oh no, I am earning so much. A person who's earning 60,000, his loan is getting sanctioned. Why my loan is? His expenditures are less. He's saving that amount. And that nobody is deciding over there. Nobody is sitting and deciding. It is all automated process. So RPA does all these kinds of things. So taking in consideration also the rules, company rules, the legal compliances. So RPA, so there is one more question. Can RPA automate unstructured process? Unstructured process, see the process which we have a rule, which we know, okay, this is you do, and this is how it is done. Known step, fixed step. Unstructured process are those processes which are not defined properly, right? So can they do that? Yes, they can also do that, but it has to deal with a real-time operational intelligence or data. So RPA can also execute automated process. See, normally, as I said, that RPA process get triggered with certain action, right? So whenever next time you are getting a mail, right, from a company, let's say now Flipkart is having a big billion day sale. So whenever you get that, you always assume that, you don't feel that how this person, how Flipkart know about me, I'm not in Flipkart. You always used to see that RPA is doing the action. RPA found out that you are looking for some product online and you are the person who can be sent this particular mail and you will be interested. So you can use actually RPA to streamline various kinds of numerous time consuming tasks in the business process. Like for example, the inventory management, your IT process, web data extraction, data transfer, ERP, general ledgers, help desks, claiming process for insurance company, all these common business process like inventory management, supply chain or customer onboarding, extracting the data from PDF, just like I gave example of people applying in the or resume application. This all can be automated. So IT process also like software installation, file disk management, that also can be automated using the RPA. RPA can do all these kinds of things. Then it can also get triggered with certain kind of action. You can trigger those kind of things, especially in the e-commerce. You can trigger a lot of action. For example, let's say in the e-commerce, one example I can give. Let's say you want to buy something. You are browsing a Amazon site and suddenly you come across some very good deal, but you have no plan to buy this. You think, okay, fine, next month I will buy. Now I don't have money. What do? You select and put that into the cart. You add it to the bag or you put it in the cart and you leave it. You don't buy it. Those are called abandoned cart. When you abandon a cart and put something into it, so what happens? An email get triggered, but email, as soon as you put something in the bank, you don't get a shoot. The process doesn't shoot a mail to you saying that, oh, it means that you forgot something in your cart. Would you like to buy it? We want to remind you. No, it will not come. You will get irritated. You will say, yes, I have put it in the bag because I want to. You get irritated with the company. Why company is bothering me? So what happens? They give you time, just like human being. They say, okay, fine, leave it. Let the person might have certain reasons for not buying. Maybe he doesn't have money, he's waiting for the salary. Maybe he is not planning to buy, he just like the offer is put. He may buy it later whenever he feels there's a need. He's just selected the item. So what happens? There is an automation which I do it with I think last week only we were doing it with our students. When I was teaching them e-commerce, we triggered that in Wix, where we automated one thing that after how many days of putting any product in the cart and abandoning, an email can be shooted and told, and how to design that email. So for different person, your name will come and it will say, hey, I feel that you forgot something. There's an offer for you. And this is the right time for you to buy this, what you have left in the cart. Then first time visitors on e-commerce site. So it automatically understand and see that a person has visited this site first time. He doesn't have account. So immediately a pop-up comes on your site and says, your first time visitor, register with us and you get 500 rupees off or 10% discount. This is a code. So all these are RPA, which get triggered with certain actions. And these actions can be a workflow or can be a task, can be a variety of industrial process. Not necessarily it is on marketing or e-commerce. It can be in manufacturing also. It can be in inventory management. Inventory management, I'll give you an example. Let's say Amazon keep a stock of 10 jeans from Levi's. And the customer started buying. One is gone, left 9. So they will have something called minimum order. And they say that as the stock reaches to the 3, when 3 jeans are left in the stock, it should be reordered and Levi's should send the another 10 set of jeans to them in all the sizes to their inventory or fulfillment center. So it waits. As soon as the stock or the inventory reaches to the 3, automatically there is a trigger happens and RPA send an order and process an order with the vendor and tell them to replace the inventory because inventory has reached to minimum order value. So those are day-to-day process, right? Market analysis. So all these are something which the things can do. Like we have in our college that every time when the class happens, we take attendance. And when the students are absent, it triggers a mail to the parents and goes and say that this particular students were absent. And when the students have less than 75% attendance every month, it triggers and shoot a mail automatically only to those students who have less than that. Here we don't require any intelligence. It's a routine task. Either we used to do that 2-3 years back manually, when we used to take out a sheet, Excel, put a formula, student less than 75%, calculate the percentage, less than 75%, extract the name, filter those names, and then send manually one mail we will format. Now everything happens through the software. As soon as the students get less than 75% in the end of the software, a mail gets shooted to this, in a particular format that your son or daughter has less than 75% attendance. If it is less than 75% till the end of the semester, he will not or she will not get the hall ticket. So these are called RPA. Okay. So as I was telling you, all these kind of things can be done. Then we will look into some videos now. I was reading one research paper, very interesting one by Gartner. They are very big research company. And they were saying a very interesting fact. They said that by 2020, already every company would have automated their process through RPA, and RPA industry will reach across $2.4 billion. And automations will actually take over the repetitive task and free human workforce to do something more intelligent or to apply their ability to something else, like factories. This look like a real robots only, but the factories are automatic, all kinds of job. I don't know how many of you know that the painting of your car, the car when it is made, it's an assembly industry. You make chassis, you make body and engine. These are 3 processes which are made in three different units. And once all are made, it comes and the entire car is assembled. And when the body is assembled, before the body is put, and after the body is put into and the car is assembled, what they do is they will do the painting. Initially, 10 years back, the painting was done by human being. They used to go and paint. So the paint will be very uneven. The ambassador cards and those cards which we used to have at that time had very bad painting, no shine. Somewhere it will be thick coating, somewhere just like how the nowadays even the painters at the home use technology basically to understand and do even paintings. So, and it used to take a lot of time. The painting itself will take around 10 days to paint, another 15 days to dry up, then one more coating. So 1 month only for painting process. And the labors will become, it's a repetitive task. Labor will become, very lethargic. There is a lot of, energy wasted in that. Work is not of good quality. Then it was getting automated. Now the robot, if you can see those robotic arms are there. These are the robotic arms which are painting the car. So we get 3D painting. So what happens? There's a pool of paint in which before the body is put into the chassis or assembled it goes and the base coating happens. It gets dipped. And then there is a vacuum, heated chamber through which this goes. And within few seconds or few minutes, the body get dried up. Then it goes. And then the robotic arm starts spraying the painting in the even manner, in such a manner that the car painting, polishing, everything is done within 1 day itself when the car is dried and ready for delivery. So the delivery time is improved, quality has improved, costing has reduced. So this is the benefit of the thing. So all those call center job, compliance oriented auditing job, customer order processing in the e-commerce site, employee onboarding, credit card application, loan application, scheduling flights or scheduling airline bookings, claims administrator, data transfer from one system to the other system, fraudulent account closing, all these kinds of repetitive tasks where you know the process are done with the help of this. Okay. I'm going to show you some example of some company who are using this basically to do something. So this is a BMW company who's using UiPath and has done certain process which is automated through RPA. So let's see this.
Welcome to the UiPath automation demo for BMW. In this video, we will show you how RPA can transform manual, repetitive, non-value added work into a smooth, automated process. But what is RPA? RPA stands for Robotic Process Automation, an innovative technology that aims to automate manual, time-consuming, rule-based business processes. UiPath accomplishes that by emulating the interaction between humans and business applications. This means that the robots can open and close applications, navigate through a menu, perform clicks and selections, switch between several systems, and take many more actions in a similar way that a human user would. To give you a better understanding of what RPA is and what it does, we have automated an internal BMW process, the HR employee ID creation as part of the contract management for interns. Currently, the process uses 3 systems.
Are you able to see the video? Anybody can tell?
Yes, ma'am.
Put their personal data and where the department that is looking for an intern can add the requirements. The second system is called AMS. This is the ticketing tool used at BMW. The last system is SAP, the HR application for payroll. Before the hiring process can take place, the HR representative handling the request must perform 3 steps. First, collect the required information about the applicant and the position that they are applying for. Then, verify whether the student has the right to work in Germany. And if the second step is confirmed, create the employee's personal number in SAP, which concludes the process. Now, let's take a look at how UiPath can optimize it through automation. Let us start by introducing UiPath Studio, the designer tool where the automation workflows are created. The main components are the activities pane on the left-hand side, the designer surface in the center, the properties pane on the right, and the tools menu on the top of the page. What you're seeing on the screen is a sequence of activities and decision points representing the HR process proposed for automation. The robot follows the arrows and executes each step from the workflow in a predefined order according to the business rules for this process. Let's run this in slow motion. On the right-hand side, you'll see the robot going through each activity in the workflow, while the actual applications will be displayed on the left-hand side. As you can see, the robot starts by opening the browser. It retrieves the credentials and logs into AMS. After checking the pending requests, it logs into IBS, the recruiting system, in order to collect the necessary information. This first task is a typical swivel chair activity, as it requires the user to log into AMS and IBS, then switch between the two systems repeatedly while copy-pasting the information from one to the other. RPA excels at this type of task, so we've successfully automated it. The second part of the process, checking whether the applicant has the right to work in Germany, does not meet the automation criteria, as there are several verification steps involving human decisions. For example, checking if the student has a green card or other types of permissions. This will remain a manual step. Finally, let's take a look at the third step, creating the personal number in SAP. We'll run this step at full speed. The main activities for this part of the process require copying information from AMS and pasting it to SAP, while also populating some of the fields with known standard values. We have decreased the handling time for the two automated steps from 20 minutes down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. For a monthly volume of 600 requests, that is a total reduction of 175 working hours from the processing time. Using RPA has proven benefits within months on deployment. Error and cycle time reduction are just the beginning. Higher scalability to cover peak times is an important advantage. And on top of it all, the cost reduction that RPA brings can be seen within months, giving RPA a very good and fast return on investment.
Okay, so this is basically an example how BMW has used UPI path RPA tool basically to automate certain process and how it has benefited them. So one more video I'm going to show you.
Manufacturing is facing new challenges. Time-intensive processes supporting the production line rely on manual processes. To stay competitive, manufacturers must optimize manual processes. Robotic process automation, RPA, streamlines the back office and operational processes within the manufacturing value chain. Manufacturers using RPA obtain up to 40% cost savings. RPA makes a real difference for manufacturers. Invoice processing and purchase order management. Invoice processing is time-consuming and painful. RPA scans, reads, and checks invoices against POs. RPA automates tasks by entering invoices into ERP, verifying orders and duplications. Bill of materials. Bill of materials is critical to manufacturing companies. RPA enhances process automation to replicate steps humans complete to generate bill of materials. Customer support management. Teams can provide quicker resolutions to customers' queries with RPA. Automating searches across systems into a single action by users brings necessary data to resolve queries. Logistics and supply chain management. RPA enables order placement with suppliers. Tracking shipped and delivered orders maintain inventory stock levels. Other areas for Atos RPA are HR services, report automation, and finance and accounting. For additional information, contact us.
Okay. So you've seen that how in the manufacturing process, you can automate not only your operational, like your manufacturing process with robots, physical robots, But at the same time, certain process like inventory management, a back end, bill of material, managing your waste or manage packaging division, order processing, everything you can manage using RPA.
Worried about your bank's employee productivity?
So here, this video is going to show you how bank uses the RPA to automate their routine process and immediately responds to the customer.
Cost effectiveness? Looking to reduce processing time? We have solutions to fix all your banking challenges. This is Rob, and he wants to open a bank account in the Lonely Banks. Meanwhile, Bot is a computer where RPA is implemented. Rob wants a loan approval from the Lonely Bank for a house loan. While he submits all the documents for the loan approval and to process it, Bot gets the information from the stored data and approves the loan immediately. Rob meets the manager for the credit card approval and finds error in his name. He has to rectify and address the manager for the error. Meanwhile, Bot checks with the salary and the credit card limit, and the credit card gets approved immediately. Rob has been waiting for a loan and credit card approval for a few days and has not got a response from the Lonely Bank customer care. While Bot gets automatically connected to the customer through call and also chat bots. Rob revisits the bank to check on a loan approval and a credit card approval, where he finds the Lonely Bank has implemented the RPA process and has faster turnarounds. Hi, Rob. I am your pocket bot.
Okay. So till now, we were actually looking at that how different process can be automated using RPA. Now let us look at that how some companies are using RPA for what purpose. So this video I think is actually showing you about Infosys, how they are using RPA and which process.
In the age of robotic assembly lines, driverless cars, and drones, cutting-edge automation and robotics are scripting a silent revolution in the BPM sector, shifting the focus from cost reduction through labor arbitrage to driving business value through innovation. Typically, business process operations span a wide variety of rule-based and knowledge-based work, from regular, repetitive rule-based work to complex, knowledge-based work involving judgmental and cognitive skills. A large chunk of this work can be automated by using robotics process automation, RPA. RPA enables straight-through, touchless business processes with the balanced value-added work being handled through deep domain capability. The objective is a near zero-touch process where any touch, if necessary, is only for specific value-added activities, ensuring innovative service design, improving efficiency, amplifying business value, and enhancing customer experience. Reimagining BPM through a massive embrace of automation and artificial intelligence is Infosys RPA, delivering business processes service stack. Take the case of this global high-tech enterprise. In the conventional model, work would involve toggling between a dozen client applications and tools and manual data extraction to process a case. The inherent drawbacks: time elapse, low quality, and poor customer experience. Infosys RPA as a service has changed all that. While 87% of orders undergo straight-through touchless processing within the client environment, the fallouts are routed to Infosys, where the remaining 13% gets processed as touchless to the extent possible through the Infosys RPA automation software. This leaves approximately 4 to 6%, which will need single-touch domain intervention. Infosys teams are now applying artificial intelligence in all exception fallout cases to enhance zero-touch, near-touchless processes. The Infosys RPA stack is powered by components that can handle different channel and data types. Some of the key components are the data extraction, enrichment, and entry component, which addresses the largest chunk of operations in every BPM, minimizing or eliminating regular and repetitive data capture, entry-related activities. The smart environment component spans all process areas, providing smart updates with minimal or no effort. The reporting and insights component automates another crucial BPM service, standard operation procedure-based reporting and reconciliation activity, enhanced with decisive insights and predictive analyses. And the auto query resolution component removes the hassle of responding to those endless queries. Going beyond the automation of repetitive rule-based work, Infosys RPA ensures touchless processes, leveraging artificial intelligence techniques across various industry verticals and services with minimum configuration. In addition to being accurate, scalable, robust, non-disruptive, non-intrusive, and low on maintenance, Infosys RPA is process agnostic, can be implemented rapidly, and ensures quick ROI. In an era where innovation-led disruption is the name of the game, Infosys RPA is a clear trendsetter, achieving process perfection by infusing intelligence into automation. So if you're thinking of process perfection through touchless automation, we're game.
Okay. So here now, the presentation stops, but I will take you through those certain tools. And this will be the next session topic, which I'm going to tell you, which is like creating a bot with automation anywhere. That's a software. So I will not be able to use it because if I use it also in the Mac computer, I can't show you because that's not acceptable. It's not for Mac. Even UiPath is also not meant for Mac. But I will show you the online, the browser application. So that I'm going to show you now. Just give me a few seconds. Just give me a few minutes. I'm just going to take you to a particular, software called UI and Automation Anywhere. Okay. So we can all see that this is a site called Automation Anywhere Bot Stores, and it has many applications. So when you click on Automation Anywhere, it has a lot of things which you have. Then you have bots for bot automation. You have 66 program like for weather assistant and all those kinds are there. GitHubs is also there. Then you have function wise, customer service, RPA development, and the bot stores, inventory management, you can see here. But what happens here is this is a desktop application. You can just go and type Automation Anywhere client and download that. It's an open source software. And you can use various things. I will show you now. I'll show you a course which I was doing, but I was not able to actually download and show you personally with that. But I'll go take you through a course where you can see that how Automation Anywhere can automate, the employee personal detail management system, where employee joins a company and provide his personal detail, and from time to time the personal detail need to be updated, maybe he's changed the address and all. So you store everything in the Excel file, and how the Automation Anywhere can extract the relevant data and automatically update the system with RPA process. So that I will show you through the course video. And then is the next one which I want to show you. 1 minute. It's called UiPath. So this is a UiPath. What you can do is you can just sign in. And when you sign in, you can get something called UI Studio. And you can download that free of cost, which you can work in Windows operating system. And then in that, you can get a lot of automation tools on various functions. You can automate through that. You can create a bot. And that's what we are going to do. I'm going to give you one exercise also. And this, I'll just show you the exercise first, which I have created for you. Just give me a few seconds. So because listening will not help till you don't do the practice. So this is some note which I have prepared for you where you can go through what is process automation and all these things, what I taught you, I have given you, and certain, tools like UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, like all these are there. Then about them also I have given, and these are certain tasks which you can do. If you can put the task in GitHub also, you can automate this task. Like for example, the first task, if you can see, is the, I think, data scrubbing from one particular file to the system. So entire steps are given over here because I can't show you. If I had a window operating system, I would have shown you all these process, but this I'm not able to do it in the Mac and show you. You can do it, it's very easy for you people. Then you have the email campaign automation through. So there is a kind of feature which is called Automation Anywhere Workbench. This Automation Anywhere Workbench will allow you to extract the data from a file, which I'll show you now how it happens, like from Excel and all. Or it will allow you to do all these kinds of things. It will create a loop for you so that you can keep on doing the step same, because repetitive task means same thing again and again. Based on certain rules, it will keep on. So initially first time you have to do it, which I will show you now. So all these steps are given. You all can do this. Robotic, okay, fine. Okay. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to send this to Harinakshi ma'am and she'll share it with you. And the next week also you will, I would like you to, I will show you one Botka thing also, because we have a lot of time left today. 30 minutes left, so we can complete that robotic process, how to create a new project in UiPath. So first thing is very important is that you can go to UiPath, what you call, I'll just show you. I'll just share the screen and tell you how you can install. Installation, actually, I don't have to teach you, but still I can show you how do you install that. So let's say I will continue with a Google account. I have just gone to the site. I'll just take some account here and sign in with the account first time. I think already I created. It's going to take some time to upload the page. And then it will show you all the features. Because I found this is the one of the best RPA tool available. You can create a bot and you can do a lot of things. Actually, there are a lot of things that can be done to this. So this is already done here. So here, if you can see here, you can download this studio. So you have to sign in with the Gmail ID. And after that, what do you do is you have to download the studio. Once you download the studio, this get installed in your computer and you can just run it. And once you run it, you can just create certain project. How do you create those projects? I will show you now that. Just give me a few seconds. Just give me a few seconds. I'll just enable that video.
Before we dive into actually using the tool, I want to give you an orientation and talk about creating and opening projects, plus give you a tour of the various project and tool windows so you understand the big picture of how the tool is used. And and you'll be able to easily find the most important windows when it comes time to use the product. So let's jump in and check it out.
So the UI
When you
path,
first open
yeah.
UiPath, you'll be presented with this start window. There are several menu items on the left that we'll discuss in the UI tour video. You can quickly open recent projects over on the right side here.
So what happens when you install the UiPath Studio, and when you open that, you will get this particular screen, where on the screen you have projects. See, you create normally a project in the RPA software. So here you have like under the new project, you have process, what process you want to automate. Then you have certain library, which can be certain added, properties or features of that. In this, you may also have certain templates which you can use. And if you have already created some kind of a project, let's just like in the any document file in Microsoft Office, when you open it, shows you the recent, it also shows you the same thing. So this is what is in the video, it is showing you, but I'll show you how do you create a project in that.
Here. But to create a brand new project, you would make use of this center column. The top two items are both blank, so you can create a blank process or a blank library item. You would use this when you want to build a robot, and this when you want to build a reusable component.
Okay, so when you want to create a bot, which I want you people to do, so you have to just click on process, not the library. But when you want to automate a routine task, like scrapping the data from PDF or Excel into your the RPA, and that also I will show you one case. And how do you automate that process? So for that you will use library,
which we'll discuss in a future video. The bottom section here contains templates. While this one is going to be an empty canvas when you use it, this one will have a flowchart activity on that canvas and have some example prearranged nodes to give you an idea of how to use a flowchart. This one, as you can see, is intended to be an attended robot that can be triggered by a mouse or keyboard user event. And this template on the bottom is what's called the Robotic Enterprise Framework, or RE framework for short. This is intended to be a starter project for enterprise robots. It's pretty heavy with lots of layers, and I give you a walkthrough of that in my level 2 course. For now, let's go ahead and click on a blank process and see what that looks like. As I discuss in the conventions section of my UiPath level 2 course, we typically use the Pascal naming convention here to create a robot name with no spaces or hyphens or underscores. So I'll call this my first robot with no spaces. I'm going to choose to save it in my C drive in a development directory and a UiPath subdirectory, but you can save it wherever you want. And this is just a free text field where you type in something about the robot's purpose and click create. When we're working on a robot, the place we'll spend the most time is this pane right in the center. So often what I like to do is move these other panes to the side a little bit, or even unpin them so that they collapse. But I especially like to collapse this top ribbon up here. And you can do that by double clicking any one of these menu items to hide it. And now you can simply click on the menu item to show, select what you want. And when you click on the button, it will auto hide again. It's also important to notice that the menu system is more like the newer Microsoft applications, meaning there's no file menu that has save or save as. Instead, there's this start menu. And when you click on that, it takes you back to that start screen we were on, so you could create a new project or access settings and tools and things like that. Notice here in the top of the window, my project is still open. To get back to it, I can click on this arrow at the top left. I'll have a full interface tour in a different lecture, but the most important thing you need to understand about creating robots is that we can use this activities tab to drag and drop activities into this canvas in the center. So if I grab a sequence and drag it on, that's a container for other activities. I can drag a message box in there, for instance, and put a string in here that just says hello. And when I run the robot, it pops up that dialog and says hello. When I click OK, the robot is done, and it brings the UiPath Studio interface back. When you click on any activity in the canvas, you'll see more details or what's called properties in this pane on the right side. And you can expand or contract that, and even pull this little section further to the left or to the right, depending upon how big these values are. When you click on a different activity, the properties of that activity are now shown in the right side here. So notice down here, this is cut off, so I can pull this out a little bit and then resize the properties pane to show all the relevant data. Another useful feature down here is this zoom area, which allows you to shrink the view down to a smaller size in case you have lots of activities in the canvas and you need to be able to see the big picture. You can also press your control key on the keyboard and roll the mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out on the canvas. If you wanted to use a flowchart instead of a sequence, you would simply click on activities and either navigate down here into workflow flowchart, but UiPath has been moving activities around, so it's often better to just use the search bar up here and type in flowchart. That way, wherever that activity is, searching will shrink down this list and allow you to very easily click and drag it onto the canvas. If this is something you feel like you're going to use frequently, go ahead and right click on it and select add to favorites, because then it's always going to appear up here in this top favorites area. So you don't even have to bother typing anything in or navigating. Just open up favorites and drag it onto the canvas.
Okay, so this is one simple, ways of understanding how the UI path actually works. There are a lot of actually videos available to understand that. It's not very, very difficult for you people especially, but I will just show you the, automation anywhere. How do you actually, I will do a case there.
Before we
And
dive into
one minute,
actually
just a
using the
minute.
tool, I'd like to cover one more setup nuance.
So I'm going to just show you that how RPA can be the automation anywhere software. That is also the tool which is very, very good.
If
So
necessary.
basically in that one case study I will take, and that particular case study, how it is, that particular software is used to scrap the data from PDF, the employee data from the PDF into the RPA, and then create a loop so that every time there is a document submitted, it automatically take the field or automatically do certain things. So that's what we are going to, understand that. Just give me a few seconds. I'll share the screen.
In this video, you will see how automation can help you perform time-consuming and repetitive tasks faster. Let's consider the case of the HR and admin department of a large company. One of the routine tasks of this department was to copy employee information from PDF documents to Excel spreadsheets. This task involved multiple steps, like opening the Excel spreadsheet where information was to be copied, opening PDF documents containing employee information, copying the required information such as employee names, IDs, etc. from the PDF documents, and pasting the copied data into the Excel spreadsheet. This task was repetitive and tedious in nature and negatively affected the productivity of the department. That's where Automation Anywhere came up with its robotic process automation, or RPA, solution to help them. RPA automates rule-based and repetitive processes, reducing manual intervention and allowing employees to focus on important and urgent tasks. Let's take a sneak peek into Automation Anywhere's solution in this case. The Automation Anywhere Enterprise, or AAE client.
So this is a new RPA tool, which is called Automation Anywhere Enterprises Client, or you can say AA, e-client. And then again, you can download this and you can install the software. In Mac, it doesn't work. You can install the software and do simple task of scraping the data from the particular file into your system and making a loop out of it. So this is an HR case, which is showing that how Automation Anywhere, Enterprises Client can do that and automate your task.
Client tool helps you implement RPA by creating and deploying software robots or bots. In this example, we used AAE Client
to automatically copy the data within these PDF documents provided by the HR and admin department into an Excel file. For ease of access, these documents were placed in a single folder. Let's replicate the procedure to automate this task. To begin, first open the AAE Client application. In AAE Client, click New to open the Automate dialog box and click the Workbench option. Let's create variables to store information.
So especially when you download AAIE, software on your desktop, which you can do it on Windows operating system, when you run, you get that screen which you have seen. And in that, when you click on new, you will get a lot of features. And the feature for this particular case, like HR, uploading the data from the PDF file into, the system and automating it, we are using Workbench. So you can also use that. And how to use that is shown here.
Pertaining to each field in the PDF document. So in the Workbench window, click the Variable Manager tab and then the Add button. Let's create a variable for the given name field. In the Add Variable window, enter a name for this variable and click the Save button. Since no value is directly being assigned to this variable now, AAE Client asks you if you want to continue with assigning a null value to the variable. Click Yes to continue. The value of the given name field is now assigned to its corresponding variable, and the variable will now appear in the list of local variables. Similarly, add the variables corresponding to fields such as family name, address, and so on. Now comes the important step of opening the Excel file. Let's create an action for it. Go to the Commands pane and click Excel. From the list of subcommands displayed under the node, go to the Open Spreadsheet subcommand and drag and drop or double-click it. This opens the Excel command window. Click the ellipsis button to launch the file browser window to select the spreadsheet file. Select the required file and click Open. Since the spreadsheet file has a header, in the Excel command window, select the Contains Header checkbox and click the Save button. Next, let's assign that specific cell in the spreadsheet where we want the data to be entered. Go back to the AAE Client window and drag and drop or double-click the Go to Cell subcommand. Enter the cell in the specific cell field and click Save. Now comes the important step of extracting field values from the PDF file and assigning them to user variables. So let's scroll down the Commands pane and click the PDF Integration command. From the displayed subcommands, drag and drop or double-click Extract Form fields. This displays the PDF Integration window. In the PDF name field, click the ellipsis button and select the PDF file from which we wish to extract data and click Open. To add the fields from the selected document, in the Inserted Fields pane, click the Add button. The selected document opens. The red dotted line indicates that the fields have been identified for extraction. Right-click it and select the Add Field menu item. In the Field Details dialog box, select the variable to which the field value is being assigned and click OK. The added field is listed under the Inserted Fields pane on the right. Similarly, add the other fields and select the corresponding variables. The Inserted Fields pane will be gradually populated. After all the required fields are added, click Save. Let's suppose there are additional PDF files from the same folder from which you wish to extract the same fields for copying into the spreadsheet. For this, click the PDF name field and press F2. Select the system variable file name in the Insert Variable window and click the Insert button. Note, this variable holds the name of the file being read by the loop command. Now click the Save button to save your action. After extracting information from the fields in the PDF file, you need to insert it into the respective cells of the Excel file. To do this, scroll up in the Commands pane and drag and drop or double-click the Set Cell subcommand. This opens the Excel command window. Now click the cell value field and press F2. This opens the Insert Variable window. From the list of variables, select the variable.
So you can see that this process is long. I'm not going to play the entire video, but these all videos are available online. So you can just learn this within a few, minutes, and within few, within one day, and you can automate a process. What I will show you next is basically, just let me see how it works.
Click the Browse button to select the file.
So I'm going to just show you that how in this particular RPA, tool, which is called Automation Anywhere Enterprises Client, you can create a bot, method to create a bot. Let's see that.
Welcome to this video on methods to build a bot. Automation Anywhere Enterprise Client provides various methods to create bots. In this video, we will discuss the 4 methods of building a bot: Smart Recorder, Screen Recorder, Web Recorder, and Workbench. Depending on the type of processes that you want to automate, you can create bots using any one of these 4 methods. Selecting the right method is essential for creating tasks that are reliable, user-friendly, and time-efficient. So let's begin. Let's start by learning about the Smart Recorder method. Smart Recorder is the most viable method for building bots if you want to capture objects from applications that use HTML, Java, WPF, Flex, or Silverlight technologies. You can use the Smart Recorder method to record an action or a series of actions on the computer and build appropriate tasks. The second method of building a bot is the Screen Recorder method. Screen Recorder is used for building simple tasks for processes that involve mouse clicks and keyboard operations. At the time of running the bot, ensure that you are using the same operating system and screen resolution which was used at the time of recording the tasks. The third method of building a bot is the Web Recorder method. Web Recorder would be the right choice to accomplish any web-based process. You can use this method to perform tasks that require repetitive actions, such as extracting data from multiple web pages, extracting data from tables on web pages, or filling web forms. Finally, let's look at the Workbench method. Workbench allows you to automate almost any process without any programming effort, using its several commands and wizards. The Workbench window lists 500 plus commands that can be used to create automated processes for your organization. It is equipped with all the tools necessary for enhancing, streamlining, and deploying automated processes, making it the most powerful facility in the product. The availability of these 4 methods of
Let's see how.
By now, you might be aware of the utility of Automation Anywhere's RPA to streamline and automate business processes using bots. In this video, you will learn to create a simple bot using combination of recorders and Workbench. Let's create a bot for automating the action of checking the present stock price online and reading it into a text file. Automating this process involves multiple steps, like opening the website, extracting the present stock value from the website, and displaying the value on the screen.
So students, whenever you're creating bot for a particular purpose, you need to know the process of that. Like for this, in this case, they want to build a bot to basically analyze the stock price. So for that, what is a process? One by one, you have to list the step. You should know the step, and then only you can build that bot and tell the bot to do all those step by step and come to an output.
This process involves a web-based system. We can use the Web Recorder to record the process of data extraction. So let's get started. First, go to the AAE client application and click New. Then click Web Recorder. In the displayed window, type the URL of the website which is to be accessed.
So all of you make a note of this. So you can download this Automation Anywhere Enterprises. I want all of you to create a bot, which is very, very simple task for you. You just have to download this Automation Anywhere Enterprises client and create on the new project. And when you create on the new project, you have to select Web Recorder. And you have to write. For example, in this case, they want to extract the data or read the data from the site which are showing the stock price, like Money Control and all. So they are writing the URL of that particular site into this particular web recorder feature. So you see then later what they do. So the first step is to read the data or scrap the data from a particular site into the, for this particular process, for creating a bot for stock exchange.
Next, click Start. This activates the web recording feature, and events in your web browser will now be recorded. To extract data through the web browser, select the Extract Data option. The Extract Data option window is displayed. Select Regular Data. Click Next. The website is displayed. On the website where the stock prices are displayed, click the stock value figure you want to use. The Extract Data window is displayed. Assign the value to a variable. Then click Save. After you save, the website of stock prices is displayed again. This action will be recorded by the web recorder. Click Stop Recording. The Save Task window displays automatically in the AAE client.
So what happens? It is not the one-time value it is going to extract. Every time the stock value, the NSE or BSE, whatever we say in India, that particular stock value improves, decrease, increase, it will take that value automatically from there.
Application. Enter an appropriate file name and click Save. Now let's edit the created bot to display the stock value in a message box. For this, we will use the workbench. To do this, from the list of bots displayed in the My Task pane, select the newly created bot and right-click it. From the menu, click the Edit option. To display the extracted stock value in a message box, double-click the Message Box command. In the Message Box window, enter a message to be displayed along with the extracted stock value upon successful execution of the bot, and press F2. In the Insert Variable window, select the variable to which the stock value was assigned.
So you have assigned, you have scrapped the from the stock exchange value, the stock value, and put a variable name to that. And then you connect it with the message. And so that every time whenever message is that, which says the current stock value and the variable and the stock value will be taken from that website, which is assigned to a variable called prompt assignment. So whenever it changes, it display there.
In the message box window, click Save to proceed. Next, let's save the stock value along with today's date in a text file for further processing. For this, we can use the Log to File command. Double-click or drag and drop the Log to File command to the Task Action List pane. Next, in the Log File command window, click the Browse button to select the file to which data needs to be entered. In the text field, press F2.
Are you able to hear? Students, can you hear it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In the Insert Variable window, select the Date variable and click the Insert button. Similarly, to enter the stock value in the text field, enter the variable that holds the extracted stock value. Next, click Save to proceed. Finally, let's add a command to close the Internet browser. For this, use the Close Browser subcommand under the Web Recorder command. In the Web Recorder window, click the Save button. Finally, to save the changes made to the task, go to the Save button in the Workbench window and click it. Finally, you need to test the bot. To do this, close any open web browser windows and click the Run button in the Workbench window. Upon execution of the bot, a dialog box is displayed showing the present value of stocks. Once the bot has been executed, open the text file to which the stock value was entered. You will see that the value has been appended at the end of the file. In this way, processes like finding out stock prices from the internet can be easily automated.
So you people have seen that how you can create simple bot And I want to ask you to use your own imagination apart from what we tell you to do, and create a bot with anytime, anywhere. These are very, very simple software, like a cakewalk for you. And create simple bots. Simple bot for responding to a person, not a chat bot. I want a bot which will do certain tasks. So the task which you already know that, okay, fine, if somebody is, if I want to find this is how the process is. This is the rule to find that. All those processes you can automate and you can find out that. So I will end my session here, and I'm going to send some file to Harinakshi ma'am, and I want all of you to go through that. And yeah, the particular tutorial which I was showing you, those are all paid one, so you will not find those tutorial on YouTube. But nevertheless, you can find lot of training tools on UiPath. So UiPath and anytime, anywhere, client, enterprises client, AAEC, you can install free of cost in your Windows operating, desktop, and you can run all these things by simple tutorials. Do that. You have 1 week time. Create a bot, do data scrapping, do a email campaign triggering. All these you can do it, and show me in the next class. So next session, I want all the team to create a bot using UiPath, or maybe anytime, or if you want, you can use Blue Prism also. I find these two tools are very better than the other one. You can try that out with simple things. You can do it with the tutorials online. You can learn it and show me. So the next class, I will see that. And then if there is something else we can learn about RPA, we will learn. And for the next class, we will, or maybe some case studies on RPA, I can find out and discuss with you. And we will close the RPA topic in that next session. So any questions?
Excuse me, ma'am. This is the course director this side. I
Yes.
just wanted to tell the students, since you had brought it to my notice in the last meeting, that the project synopsis which has been sent to you, I think what you feel, they have not given you any progress in that. Right, ma'am, if I'm not mistaken. So we still have 1 month's time, right, ma'am, for the project finalization. They have, all the centers have sent you the project synopsis, right?
Yeah.
But you were telling me last time when we were talking that they have not shown you any progress in that. On the project, especially that.
You remember I told them that they have to do a project which we can finalize, and we can put it for patent also. I can help them.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
Or
Patent as well as for paper presentations in Scopus or also, ma'am, I'm making it very clear. In the month of October, they have 1 month's time. If they don't do the project, then we have a linkage called as a Kionix trophy. We will not, evaluate the Kionix trophy if they don't give you the project. So, ma'am, it is totally up to your jurisdiction and what fashion you would like to take this, because if they don't do the project, I feel there is no use of doing this session. I don't know. I leave it to your best jurisdiction, ma'am, whatever you decide. But I think they should do the project.
See, the thing is that there was one Karakala Institute. I was discussing with your director that snake something they have given. Very nice, actually. I was very impressed with that.
But they are sleeping over it now. They are not doing anything. So I think it is just given a synopsis, and I think even my trainers, they are least bothered. So I think it will go to my trainers bad this also, that they have just given a project synopsis and they are not. I think the trainers are there, right? Please motivate your students to finish this project. You will not get this opportunity where madam is ready to evaluate the project. Your experts are ready to evaluate the project. You're not taking the best out of them. Loss is yours. They will finish and they will go. But if any of the project goes to Scopus or any of the project goes to some of the top conferences, you never know where you will reach in your life. There is an opportunity which has been given by experts and you people are doing nothing about it. So we will totally leave it to you. If you want to just learn one session, take a certificate, it is okay. But if you really want to make a life out of it and make a name and fame out of it along with your trainers, this is a brilliant opportunity. I leave it to madam's best interest, madam. But one thing is very clear. We will only ask you to travel once the project is ready. If the project is not ready, then you need not travel also for evaluation. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, in case if they want me to come there and personally see, maybe they can have a one project, day, because see, students, ultimately, it is your learning. You're responsible for it. So if you're not taking responsibility and accountability of your learning, whatever we do here, it is like momentary. It comes to your mind and it goes away. It get erased very fast. And when you go to the interview or you are getting a good opportunity there, you will say, I heard this, I have done this, but I don't exactly remember what it was. So better if you do it and you learn by doing it. That's a time when you are basically, so what here is, I'm not your a regular trainer who can teach you a particular software in step by step. For that you have good people. I've seen there are all very good trainers which are available to you. People are lucky that they're putting so much of an effort to you, to give you the industry exposures, to give you all kind of knowledge as like a 360-degree approach. So in this case also, if you're not able to devote time on your own and learn, so you should not depend on your trainer and say that, oh, my trainer didn't tell me and didn't train me on UiPath. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to train you on what design codes. But I've seen that they're going out of the way and teaching you something which actually they're not required to. They can just do the protocol and they can leave you. So it is your duty that you spend some time in a week and go through these tools and say that you should have that inquiry within you. Okay, today she told about this. Can I create a bot to do something? Think about the problem existing, or think about something which you feel, oh, can I automate this? Can I automate this particular thing? So try to find out and do something. We should not put an idea or seed the idea in your brain. You should come out with the innovative thoughts and create a solution using a software. So today we are surrounded with all kinds of tools. Everything is available to you. And after that, also, if you go and tell that, I heard about it, but I don't know how to do it, but I will learn it. Nobody will take you, because there are a lot of people who will be ahead of you in the line and will say that I can develop this with this particular tool. So you will have a better chance, and that person have a better chance. So that's the reason I will just end up here by saying that all of you take the ownership of your learning. You are doing a professional course, you are not doing a degree or something. You have to take ownership and think that what best I can do for myself, how can I go ahead and I can basically work on the tools which are given to me. You are at least getting a guideline, right? Somebody is coming and telling you these are the things which you can use and develop yourself, right? And you people are doing a fantastic job. I was really impressed the way you people presented in the last class all the tools, and not thinking about that, okay, this is not my course which I have taken, why should I do it, right? Learning anything is not a waste. It just add up to the your profile. So you can go ahead and you can do, and you go ahead and you are in AI and Python and you say, you know what, I also know I have done a project and I can develop RPA. And what kind of RPA have you developed? They ask you, okay sir, I have developed an RPA where I can do, like just like I had shown here, which where it can scrap a data about the stock value, current stock value, which keeps on changing on a minute basis, and tell the person automated it will automatically loop it, and it tell that this date, this is the stock value, this is the time, and it can send the message. So if they say, okay, fine, can you show us? Because software industry is like that. They want you to show them to them. It's not about against the performance as reality. So please spend some time on yourself. And these times, what is there will not come back again. Okay, then in this case, I'm going to now, leave you with some kind of inquiry, to set inquiry in you, start rolling your mind, start doing something for yourself. Okay. So, okay, then good night. Meet you in the next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Exit. Stop. End ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್.